Now from the 12 News I-Team, a Peoria police sergeant is pushing for change to protect young athletes.
Arizona's top high school wrestlers are grappling in the state tournament this weekend. Tonight, the police sergeant claims that the AIA is turning its back on a dirty move that is not only bad sportsmanship, but what he says is sexual assault. Team 12's Joe Dana has more.
Wrestling is a fast, physical, in-your-face sport. It's up to the referee to decide if a wrestler has crossed the line and is playing dirty.
Well, everybody knows that it exists.
Sergeant Marcel Spaulding of the Peoria Police Department is referring to what's known as the oil check, the act of a wrestler driving one or more fingers into the anus of the other wrestler, meant to shock or subdue the opponent. YouTube videos document instances of the oil check, and high school wrestlers tell stories about it on social media. Here, Spaulding shows us what he says is an example from a college wrestling match last year.
See where his fingers are? That's not an accident, right? I mean, that's intentional.
He calls it sexual assault. Spaulding was a high school wrestling official, but he won't go back on the mat unless the AIA amends its rules to specifically outlaw the oil check and put a reporting system in place that involves notifying police when it occurs.
Parents in different sports go, well, that's part of the game. Well, that's part of the game. For me, unfortunately, being sexually assaulted is not part of the game.
Spaulding points to state laws that prohibit knowingly touching or penetrating private areas.
Coming from a wrestling background, if you grab or touch something that you're not supposed to, you are immediately going to let it go. These are very, to me, deliberate acts.
College and high school wrestling rule books do not mention the oil check as a violation. Other acts like pulling hair, poking the eyes, or biting are specifically prohibited. Even the more violent sport of the UFC specifically outlaws intentionally placing the finger into any orifice. So why not high school wrestling? The national organization that writes the rule book tells 12 News there's no need to spell it out, that it falls under the definition of a flagrant violation. Joe Frazier has refereed high school wrestlers since 1981. Have you seen a wrestler intentionally do the oil check, and have you called it?
I have called it in the past, called it unsportsmanlike.
Everyone we spoke to agrees it's not common in Arizona wrestling.
It doesn't ever happen that much. You don't have coaches in the corner shouting, check the oil like they did years ago.
But when there's an allegation, it can be traumatic.
I was so upset. He was upset.
Listen to the mom of an Arizona high school wrestler describe when her son lost a high-stakes match after his opponent allegedly did it to him. The mother of the alleged victim asked to remain anonymous.
It affected him emotionally for a long time. No child, male or female, competing in any sport gives consent to having their anus penetrated. AIA needs to take this seriously and update the rules.
Brian Gessner is the state commissioner of AIA officials. Does the AIA need to write in a specific rule that says the oil check is not allowed, period?
Well, we have rules currently. It's flagrant misconduct. If it's ever witnessed by an official, the match is suspended, the wrestler is ejected, and then we take it up with authorities. It's sexual assault. The challenge here is, of the guys that I've spoken to in my wrestling leadership, they've never seen it. There's been 4 or 5 times maybe that someone's complained about it. So to have a rule to enforce something that just rarely, if ever, happens, it just doesn't make sense.
The AIA has briefed coaches and referees to be on lookout for violations. Spaulding wants more done.
We're talking about our youth. We're talking about impressionable people.
Joe Dana, 12 News.
Joe, thanks. And if you've had a personal experience with this issue, contact the I-Team at connect@12news.com.